Hey folks, Troubletcat here, recording for the Zombie Arcade. You're watching Meet the Weapon, and today we're talking about the M39 EMR. You can see here I'm playing some Team Deathmatch on No Shark Announce, just because it happened to look good to me at the time. And you're going to see me using the weapon in this gameplay with, I don't remember. No, I have a suppressor and a PK 3.4 times sight on there. No foregrip or bipod or anything like that. You could shove a bipod on here, you know, if you so inclined. In fact, I think I've got one on there now, but at the time it didn't really seem relevant, and I didn't like having a foregrip on there, since it reduces your aimed accuracy a little bit. Preferred just well, yeah, I didn't feel like you really needed it either. And again, you could use a 4 times sight if you don't have the PK unlocked, but I feel like the PK gives you a little bit of a better sight picture. Anyway, enough about that. About the weapon in real life, the M39 Enhanced Marksman Rifle, as its full name is a semi-automatic designated marksman rifle, meaning it's meant to be used alongside a normal infantry unit. So this isn't something that's issued as like a dedicated sniper rifle to sniper teams. It's something that is supposed to provide long-range fire support to like a standard infantry unit. It fires the 7.62 by 51mm NATO round, so the same round used in the G3A3, a lot of other marksman rifles, stuff like that. Not an enormous round, but significantly larger than, you know, the 5.56 or 5.45 assault rifle rounds. And this weapon's original design can actually be traced all the way back to the M1 Garand, which you might know of as like the World War I service rifle of the U.S. Army. And so the M39 is based on the USMC DMR, which it directly replaced, which itself was a modified M14 rifle, and the M14 was basically an evolution of the M1 Garand. So the design of this weapon goes back quite a long way, ultimately. It uses 20-round box magazines, all in the game. You only get 10 plus 1 shots, presumably for balance reasons, and has an effective range of about 800 meters. It's normally issued with a bunch of attachments, including, naturally, a sniper scope and a bipod. However, the Picatinny rail system allows you to mount a wide range of accessories, you know, whatever, different optics, foregrip, bipod, whatever you want under barrel, and the barrel itself fit, you know, a suppressor, as you see me using here, a variety of, well, yeah, it can fit a suppressor. So the M39 was the standard designated marksman rifle of the USMC after replacing the DMR. However, it's actually currently in the process of, or God damn it, Fidel Man, or about to be replaced by the M110, which, as I think I mentioned in my videos on the Mark 11 Mod 0, is essentially a it's very, very similar to a Mark 11 Mod 0 that is replacing this weapon. So this gun only entered service in 2008, meaning that it was actually only used for a pretty short amount of time before being replaced by a more modern rifle, which is probably why I couldn't find, that's about all I found out about this gun. There wasn't a vast amount of information on it. That sort of goes for most of these newer weapons that are, yeah, I mean, quite recent designs and are pretty much only used by the US military. So, I mean, stuff like that, there's often not, well, it varies. There's often not a vast amount of information, and that was the case this time. This guy using a bipod and a 4 times scope. Guys, you don't need a bipod if you're on a sniper rifle. If you're running a bolt action sniper rifle and a scope that doesn't really have any sway, you don't need a bipod. Anyway. So what about in the game? This would probably be my favorite of the sort of heavier semi-autos. So this and the Mark 11 Model 0 and the SVD and you know, actually, maybe, I don't know, I haven't used the QBU-88 in a long time. I can't remember how I felt about that. But anyway, the point is, I quite like this one. You have to play co-op to unlock this, if I recall correctly. And it's pretty good. It's got a bit of a faster rate of fire, and the bullets go a little bit faster than most of the other semi-autos. Damage output is the same. I feel like because of the slightly faster rate of fire, it's a good one for this kind of a little bit more sort of mobile loadout, and with the faster bullets, it's a particularly good one to use with the suppressor on it. And yeah, I mean, it's not bad. You know, as you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of sniping in this game as it is, but if you're going to go for one of these semi-auto sniper rifles, this is probably a pretty good choice. I'd say that the M417 is probably a stronger choice, since it doesn't really have any major disadvantages compared to this weapon, but it does have that 20-round magazine. But you know, it's not a bad gun if you're inclined for the sniping. Just remember, kids, don't run on a hill without. Most people don't do that with semi-autos anyway, although you do see it occasionally, particularly with the starting one, since people don't have any bolt actions unlocked yet. To be honest, I mean, the major disadvantage... That guy's getting really mad about that headshot, I couldn't even see him. The major disadvantage of using the semi-automatic sniper rifles versus the bolt actions is, outside of 15 meters, I think it is, you need 2 shots in the head to kill with a semi-auto sniper rifle. They don't do 50 damage. And they can't kill in one hit to the body like a bolt action can up close. So, the main disadvantage, though, is that you need those 2 shots to the head. To be honest, though, I mean, I often find that even for longer range stuff, a semi-auto ends up being better because it can often be easier, especially with the high rate of fire, if you get a bipod in there, to put 2 shots into somebody's body, or just anywhere into somebody's body, than to hit them in the head once. It can, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I suppose if you're super elite with your fucking headshots, then yeah, bolt action's gonna be better at those longer distances, but that said, it does kind of eternally annoy me that, get stabbed, son! It does kind of eternally annoy me that it takes 2 headshots with these things at range. It'd be kind of unbalanced if it didn't, though, there'd be, you know, no reason to ever use a bolt action, so, you know, that's really for the best. So much murder I've committed. This is a pretty decent game for me. I don't normally play Team Deathmatch, but, I don't know. It was just what was looking good for the servers at the time, so I rocked in here. It's actually, yeah, I mean, this isn't a bad gun close up, aside from... And so, for stuff like TDM and such like that, it's not that bad. You know, you can kind of spam it into people up close. It's got... And the hipfire accuracy's not that good, but if you're, you know, close enough to somebody, it's still plenty accurate. The only thing that's really going to fuck you up at close range is if you run around a corner into somebody with a shotgun. But aside from that, because it's only a 2-shot kill and you can fire it quite quickly, you're generally going to be able to compete with stuff like assault rifles, SMGs, things like that at close range with this. I don't know. It's a solid weapon. I don't know why I I don't know why I did that. I got shot a few times, and well, guys, I guess my best strategy is to pull out my tugs and run out of the combat zone now. I made some choices in my life that I regret, guys. See there, that kill assist to 88. I shot that guy once and did 88 damage. That was actually a headshot. Didn't kill him because this is a semi-auto, and he was too far away. The suppressor doesn't really help with that, but you're generally going to be engaging people at further than 15 meters anyway if you're using this kind of weapon. So, to be honest, I mean, the suppressor's not a huge deal, aside from the fact that you need to lead more and aim up more. You can see there, actually, me not leading anywhere near enough to actually land a shot on that guy. But, for the most part, you know, the suppressor's a fine attachment on any of the semi-auto sniper rifles, because you're not worrying too much about, you know, needing to keep that damage up. The range reduction thing, not that big a deal, since you're going to get down to your minimum damage, which is 3 shots to kill is the minimum damage. You're going to get down to that pretty quickly anyway. You might as well just embrace the hatred and then triple tap everywhere, or, you know, go for headshots, and, you know, multiple headshots. I'm mad about that. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to use a sniper rifle, this is one that I would use, I guess. I tend to prefer the bolt actions overall, despite, you know, earlier as I was saying, no huge advantage to the bolt actions over the semi-autos, but I just prefer them. I don't know, I feel like less of an asshole if I actually have that, if I'm using a sniper rifle and I actually have that delay between shots. I think that's the main thing. I mean, obviously, yeah, you do have an advantage at extreme range, if you can get those headshots in. Must hit that guy in the legs and only did 22 damage. Son of a bitch! Considering the minimum damage on this is 37 point... No, that's weird. I should have done more damage than that. Anyway. I don't even know, guys. And my team ended up losing this one. I tried my best, guys. I don't know, I'm of mixed feelings in TDM, just to speak about TDM strategy briefly here, because you'll see that I'm skirting around the edges of the map a lot, which is sort of trying to play the advantages of my weapon, as opposed to, you know, running into the center. And the other thing about this is dude was Not much I could have done there. Coming around the corner with an M26 mass, immediately hitting me in the face. I thought I had him, but I wasn't prepared for his mass. Anyway, as I was saying, this is a high KDR way to play in TDM. And in TDM, what should matter the most is your KDR, because keep in mind, you know, your kill count obviously is important because you need to kill as many enemies as possible. It's the way you score and the way you ultimately win. But keep in mind that every time you die, you're ultimately giving the enemy a point. So if you only roll a 1 KDR in TDM, you help the enemy team as much as you help your own. You weren't really an asset, or you know, a penalty on your team. You need a positive KDR to actually be helping your team. Which I got a good KDR in this game, but I maybe should have accepted a lower positive KDR and been more aggressive so that I could get kills faster, because that's also, it's the first team to reach 200, right? So you might, I'm a little bit torn on this, because you'd think getting the highest possible KDR ultimately means that, you know, it doesn't actually. What you want is, you want to have as many kills difference from your death as possible. And I guess if you think about it, you could have a KDR of 4, you could have like 4 kills and 1 death, but you've only contributed 3 points ultimately towards your team's victory, whereas if you have a KDR of 2, but you had 20 kills, 10 deaths, then you ended up with, you know, contributing 10 points rather, essentially to your victory. So I guess ultimately in TDM you need to safeguard your KDR to a certain extent, but you do want to be playing perhaps a little bit more aggressively than I was here. Again, as I said, a lot of my motivation is trying to play the strengths of my weapon. I was thinking about this as I was playing, which is why you can see me getting a little bit more aggressive, getting down here a little bit more as the game sort of wore on. I don't know, I tried to lead my team to victory. It was a close game. You know, I'm not mad about how this went down. But, defeat always leaves a bitter taste in one's mouth. Much like, well, defeat. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Defeat leaves a bitter taste. Can't think of anything else. Anyway, getting towards the end of the game here. Pretty dope. That's all I really have to say about the M39 EMR. Next weapon I look at is going to be the... I don't remember. I said a while ago I was going to do these in an order where I did all the semi-autos and then all the bolt actions and then shove the SK... No, I'm obviously not doing that anymore. I'm actually just going through these in the order they appear in the battle log thing, so you can figure out which one will be next by looking at battle log if you really want to. Anyway, that's the end of this video, guys. As always, let me know what you thought. And until next time, Troubletcat out.